Guess I should have put my live button. Is what it is. There we go. We're live. We are live. We are live. Let's go ahead and get that in the right view there. Let's see what's going on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is well. Hope you had a good weekend. Make sure that volume works. Good to go. Oh, I actually meant to post a link in the chat. See, that's what happens when you're still trying to figure out everything and build that confidence up in your abilities to get the great podcast going. Let's see here. Hello. And boom. Let me know where you're listening from when you listen to this. Are you watching this live or is it on the replay? We seem to get a lot of views on the replay. And let me know what time you're watching it. So put in there, hey, watching the replay at such and such time. So let us know, are you watching this on your lunch? Are you watching this? What? Where are you watching this? And when are you watching this? Watching it at the park? Watch it or I should say listening to it on your way home. Don't watch it and drive or watch it on the way to work. You can listen to it, but don't watch it. All right, we don't want anything crazy like that going on. So, without further ado, jump straight into it as usual. So, we're going to talk about stop blaming and start taking action. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. The first step to improving our lives is to stop blaming and start taking action. It's easy to blame others for the challenges that we face, but this only takes away responsibility from ourselves. There are many people who will use their excuse as an excuse not to take action or any action in their life. If we want to improve our situation, it's time to let go of the excuses and take control over our future. All right, so who here is king or queen of excuses? Who here is always finding an excuse for something? Who here is the one that does that? Let us know in the chat if you are one to make excuses. Go ahead, be honest with us. We're not gonna hold it against you. We're here to make each other better. I know I don't say my excuses out loud. I do everything that I can to try and allow those excuses to come into my thought process. But I make sure that I don't say them out loud because I don't want to have excuses for anything. I try my best not to have any excuses, even though I know they just want to be right there. It's always something, right? So let me dive in over here, and I'm going to make sure that that's working. Okay, it is. Perfect. So now is absolutely everything our fault? Yes and no, not exactly, right? But it is our responsibility. I personally like to say that everything that happens is on me no matter what. And that is always what I like to tell my kiddos. That no matter what happens in your life, it is on you. Don't look for someone else to take fault. So I think that's another area where we want to have somebody else have that responsibility. We want to have somebody else take the grunt of what's happening to us, right? But that shouldn't be the case. It's not somebody else's fault for the things that are going on around us. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, Lyle, what do you mean by you take responsibility for absolutely everything? So if I'm playing in the front yard, kicking the soccer ball around, throwing the football, knitting some crochet, whatever the case may be, if a car drives, goes up on the curb, onto the lawn, and hits me, whose fault is that? Now, 99% of the people will say it was the person that was driving the vehicle. They're probably distracted. something happened to the mechanics of the car and caused the car to drive up on the thing. But I always like to say that it's still my fault. And you think, okay, well, that's kind of crazy. I say that because I could have been a little bit more aware of my surroundings. I could have been paying attention to the sound of the car's tires squeaking on the street. I could hear the tires hitting the curb and jumping up on the grass, and I could have been able to avoid the situation. Right now, some people may say that that's a little bit extreme. And the reason I do that is because of the book that I read. It was actually Extreme Ownership. Right? So when we have the ability to take full ownership of absolutely everything in our life, even if it sounds crazy at times, it will allow us to have less of those excuses and allow us to take more action towards the things that we need to do to make sure that we're in the best situations for ourselves. Now, again, I know I took a very extreme example, an extreme situation, the likelihood of that happening. And again, 99.9% of people will say that it was the driver's fault. There's no reason that a driver in a residential neighborhood should swerve up on a curb onto the lawn and then hit somebody that is up there enjoying their time in their front yard, right? Of course, again, I'm saying this because this allows us to put ourselves in a situation that we no longer have those excuses. We are trying our best to eliminate those excuses and really put everything that we have as far as our responsibilities, what we have going, into our hands and not leaving it up to someone else. Okay, so that's where we are there in that situation, and that's why I gave that example. Now, the more responsibility you take, we're going to go into, we build our self-esteem. So we are our own worst critic, and that can be tough to overcome. The more self-esteem that we possess, the easier it is to face life's challenges. If responsibilities have been avoided because of lack of confidence in one's abilities, then taking responsibility will build self-esteem as well. They go hand in hand, right? So if we are constantly putting stuff or situations or what's happening on someone else, how is that building our self-esteem? How is that building us up and saying that we're capable of doing X, Y, Z, right? How is that something that's going to happen for us when it's on everybody else? My success is on somebody else. My failures is on somebody else. We have to be able to take that and recognize that. And the more that we take responsibility for what is going on with us, the more likely that we'll be able to build that self-confidence and be able to continue to move forward towards our goals and destinations. I'm trying to fix this other phone, and I always try to have a backup just in case one turns off. It's acting funny on me there. So let's build that self-esteem by having confidence and taking more responsibilities for the things that are happening in our lives and to us. Okay. And I know, again, it's not oftentimes that we want to hear that. We don't want to hear that everything is on us. We don't want to hear that everything is our fault, right? Because it just doesn't feel good at times. But in actuality, it's actually doing us a favor, and it's actually working out in our benefit when we allow that to happen and we are able to present that to ourselves there. Okay. So believe in that and know that that's something that is possible. And hopefully I'm not messing up the sound. There we go. Not still working there. So the next step is be aware of how we have contributed to our own challenges. We have a lot of power over our life, but sometimes we may not be in control. Be aware of how decisions that were made before and what actions we are taking now affect our future challenges. Although it is important to explore all aspects of one's past, present, and future choices when troubles come up, we should also always make time for self-care and recognition as well. Okay, so what are we doing that contributes to the difficulties in our lives and the positive situations in our lives? What is happening there? How is that happening, and what is going on? What is causing it? So are we doing certain things every day that are causing us to have more challenges? Are we constantly late to work? Is that what's causing the friction between us and our boss? We're not going to be able to change our boss, but we can change our behaviors. We can change how we're acting, how we behave, which in turn may lead to our boss reacting to us or behaving towards us in a different manner, right? So that's something that we have to look at. Now, Again, these things are not always simple to do, but we know what we need to do in order for us to accomplish our goals. All right? So stay with me here. Stay with me here. Let me know if you're good on that. If you're good on that, let me just get a yes. I'm with you. Okay? So we have to next take care of the little things. We can't do big things without doing the little things too. The days may be long, but it's worth it when we know that every day matters and counts towards our goal. Don't forget to take care of all those smaller tasks, or they just might lead to some bigger problems in the future. How often do we not take care of the minor things that lead to bigger things? One of the things we have coming up is our next challenge, our next 20-pound challenge. And the goal of the 20-pound challenge is to get the ball rolling in a manner that pushes us and gets us going a little bit quicker towards that end goal of being just that much healthier, right? It's not about being the absolute smallest. It's not about having the perfect body type. It's not about having the bikini body or the swim trunk body. It's not about that. It's about us taking back our health, right? And the small thing is waking up and getting in the gym, or finishing work and getting over to the gym, adjusting our eating habits. Those are the small things that is going to help us prevent those larger issues down the road, those health issues, those health concerns, the ability to, when we're 50 plus, 60 plus, we're still able to move around, walk, hang out with the grandkids, go to the park with your friends and still play some pickleball. We have to be able to get to that point. And the only way that we're able to get there is by taking care of the smaller things now, taking responsibility for it. Again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. And that's us recognizing, you know what? I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not doing that. It's not on somebody else. It's not the kids don't allow me to have time. Husband is busy, or wifey is busy and I'm not able to do this, or my boss kept me over and boss gave me extra work. No. Those are things that are happening in your life. Okay, fair enough. At the same time, we have to be able to recognize that we have this time here that we can get things done. Now, are you taking that extra time where you could be working out or preparing meals for your week so you don't have to eat out at work, and instead you're binge watching one of your favorite TV shows? Are you scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all of that, instead of taking the time to take care of ourselves and get those things done? Yes, we don't want to do them at times. Yes, it could be not as enjoyable as sitting on the couch eating a tub of Ben and Jerry's and watching the show, right? But which one is going to benefit us later, and which one is going to benefit us more later down the road? And that's what we have to be aware of, and that's what we have to take care of. And I'm hoping that there's no delay in the audio, because it keeps looking like there's a delay in the video. All right, so we have to take care of those small things. Get up, get after it, and get it done. Okay, we know that we can do it. We know that we're capable of doing it, because I'm sure that we have done it before. And if you haven't done it before, take the small baby steps. Get with a place that's going to build you up and is going to allow you to make those modifications so that you can have those tier step progressions and constantly get better and better and better. Okay, so even with that being said, not everything is in our control. Remember that not everything is within your power to change, but you can often find a way around it or learn how to live with the problem until something changes for the better. There are some people who will never be able to accept us, but there might be some other people waiting at our doorstep just looking for someone like them to lean on, to feed off of, to build up with. So those are things that we have to look at as well. Now, again, so what we're saying with not everything being in our control, we cannot control our spouse's work schedule if the boss tells them to be somewhere at a certain time. We cannot control if the kids have a game on this weekend or travel, whatever it is, on this weekend, but yet we wanted to schedule this in. Can't control that. However, what we can control is how we react to it and how we adjust to it. Okay, so if we know that all evening the kids have activities and the spouse isn't going to be home, we can still figure out a way to get that workout in the morning, or get that workout in the evening. In the afternoon. We can make those adjustments. We can make those minor adjustments to get the major things done that we want to get done, so that we can continue to move forward. And that's something that we have to see. We have to recognize that and know that, again, not everything is in our control, but we have the responsibility to figure out how we can get those things done. That's only going to improve our lives, ourselves, our situations, in turn enriching the lives of those around us that are close to us in our circles. Okay, so again, I'm pushing a lot of information as far as the fitness aspect and the fitness component of it, because of the messages that we receive. And those of you know that you may not be taking the best care of yourself right now, but you know that you can get there. You know that it is possible. And we all believe that it's possible. We all know that it's possible. We have to take those first steps. We have to be able to go after it. Now, finally, we have to be the best that we can be. We can't control what others may say about us or how they see us. In order to be the best version of ourselves, we must hold ourselves accountable for our actions and take responsibility for everything that happens in life. This means living up to a higher standard than anyone else would ever demand from us, because one way we can show true self-control over all aspects of our lives is us taking responsibility and taking control, right? So we want to get to a certain point. We want to be the best version of us. So think about what that is right now for you. Look at yourself in the mirror. If you're driving, think about it later, okay? But you can still think about and envision the best version of you. What is that for you? And are you taking the necessary daily steps in order to get there? Are you trying to get to that point? Or is someone else trying to push you more than you're actually trying to push yourself? That's one thing that we try to express at the gym, or one thing I try to express with my boys when I'm coaching, is that it doesn't matter how bad I want it for you. It doesn't matter how much I try to push you. It doesn't matter how much I try to deliver messages to you. If you don't want it and you don't want to make the change, then the change won't happen. So it's on us to be able to do that. We have to be willing and wanting to make those changes. We have to be willing and wanting to take those steps to get to that point. And if we're not willing to do that, it doesn't matter how much outside motivation, inspiration, influence, encouragement is happening, it's not going to get done. And we have to say, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. I'm going to stop blaming all the stuff that's going on around it, and I'm going to get after it. This is what I'm going to do. Can you still assist me? Can you help me? Can you keep the motivation going so that I'm able to get there? And that's what we want to be here to be able to help people on. And again, we got you. Let's go. So in closing, people have a natural instinct to avoid responsibility when possible. However, when we take our responsibilities, it creates more work for the time being and might even mean less work later on if done right. Again, what that means is we get in the gym now, we take care of our bodies now. We don't have to worry about all the medical and health situations later on, right? Accepting the challenge today ensures that they don't grow into bigger challenges tomorrow, which will come with the hefty costs, such as low respect or an increased risk of depression because you feel like your life is out of control and you're not able to grasp things. It's important to remember that taking these risks are worth the reward in terms of regaining our power over ourselves, so it's never too late. So again, we'll start the 20-pound challenge. Get into a gym. Start moving. Start taking those walks. And you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start seeing yourself differently. And in turn, you don't have to worry about trying to lose 30, 40 pounds later, able to get up and walk, or not ever getting that promotion at work. We have to take responsibility for ourselves and our actions right now. Yes, it's tough right now. Yes, we don't want to do it for most of the time. However, we're going to be rewarded for it later. So put the time and effort in now so that your reward will come. It can be difficult sometimes, but getting rid of some weight doesn't happen overnight either. Eventually, everything pays its dividends, right? So we know that we have to be able to say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm jumping straight in. It's on me. I can do it. Tell yourself that daily. I got this. I'm on it. I don't feel too great right now, but I know how much better I'm going to feel later, right? Because that pain only lasts so long. Once you start putting in the effort and the time, that pain is going to go away. It's going to dissipate, and all of a sudden, we're going to start feeling that much better. Okay, so I believe in you guys, okay? No matter what it is, if it's work-related, health-related, relationship related, whatever it is, I believe in you. I believe that you're capable of doing it. Okay. I'm here to continue to push you. I'm here to give you words of encouragement, words of affirmation, whatever it is that you need. But we have to remember it's on us. We have to take the necessary steps. We have to take that action. We have to go after it. Okay. So remember that. Take the steps. Let's go. Let's get it going right now. We can do it. I believe in you, okay? You got this. And as always, make sure you believe and be better than yesterday.